Welcome back. I'm Miss Traci, your storyteller, and today we're talking about letter S. S makes a sound a lot like a snake when you say it. S, S. And when you pronounce it, you'll notice that sometimes your tongue kind of goes up towards the roof of your mouth, S, or you might feel the back of your teeth a little bit, S, with that tip of your tongue. So let's go right into some letter S words. The first one I have, you would see if you go to the shore. It's not the water itself in the ocean, but the stuff that's right along it. You walk in it, might be really hot on your feet. Do you know what that is? You can make castles out of it too. You can even bury people in it. That's right, it's sand. If you cover somebody up with sand, don't bury them all the way. Make sure they can still breathe. But yes, sand castles are a lot more fun. This next thing you might see when you do go to the beach, it might tell you how far the beach is. It might tell you if it's safe to swim. It might tell you things like a direction, something that you would see, not the beach itself. Starts with the letter S. You could also see these in the city too. It's not just at the beach. Usually they give you directions or information. Did you say sign? That's right. Sometimes they even tell you where you are, like the Cherryville Branch Library. We have a sign right on the front that says that that is where we are, is the library. So there is our letter S word. This next is a mammal that lives in the ocean. You might see it on the sand at some point. It's pretty large, has flippers. You might see it go, oh, oh, oh. Or if you see it in a circus, you might see it balancing a ball on its nose. Do you know what that is? It's a seal. And that is definitely a letter S word, isn't it? Seal. Okay. This next letter S word, we see a lot of it in the summertime. It's over our heads and it's really hot. But I don't know about you, it makes me really happy too. That's right, it's the sun. Oh, there he is. I had his smile upside down, didn't I? The sun, El Sol, is our star up in the sky. The sun. This last thing doesn't sound quite like our letter S words that we've had so far, but it does begin with the letter S. It cruises through the ocean quietly. It has very large teeth, and usually a lot of them. And it's scary. And there's a whole week devoted to it every summer. And we have played bingo based on this word too. Do you know what it is? Has one fin, usually going through the ocean. Do you know what that is? That's right, it's a shark. So yes, shark starts with the letter S but makes a slightly different sound. SH is more of a shh. See how my lips are shh, shh. Whereas S, you don't see that pursing of the lips. Shark. And there is our letter S. So we have a shark, we have the sun, seal, sign, and sand. Sand is very interesting. Sand is actually made up of little tiny particles, basically broken down rocks and minerals, things that water has eroded over time. Not all sand is brown. Did you know that? If you go to Hawaii, for example, you will see black sand beaches. That is because the thing that has eroded most and left those deposits behind are volcanoes. So they have black sand beaches in Hawaii. There are pink sand beaches in Bermuda. And then there's my favorite place, White Sands, New Mexico. The sand there is white, but it's not actually sand like we think of. It is made out of gypsum. Gypsum does not convert the sun's heat, so you can go out into the White Sands Monument and walk around barefoot and not burn your feet. It's the coolest place ever. If you ever have a chance to visit, it's really, really neat. I highly recommend it. Way out in New Mexico, western part of the United States. But today is all about sharks. It's Shark Week here at the Cherryville Branch Library. It's also Shark Week on the Discovery Channel. Sharks are very interesting. They've been around for a long time. And yes, they tend to swim through the ocean. They eat things, or at least we think of them eating lots of things. So I thought the first thing we might want to do is sing about sharks chomping in the ocean. We did a longer version of this song with some other sea animals, I believe, when we did mermaids. So if you'd like to go back to that video, you could do the same things again, but more of them. Today we're going to do sharks chomping. We're going to do fish swimming, crabs pinching, dolphins jumping up and down, and finally we're going to have clams that open and shut. So are we ready? The sharks in the sea go chomp, 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 chomp. The sharks in the sea go chomp, chomp, chomp all day long. The fish in the sea go swim, 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 swim. The fish in the sea go swim, swim, swim all day long. The crabs in the sea go pinch, 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 pinch. The crabs in the sea go pinch, pinch, pinch all day long. The dolphins in the sea go up and down. Oh, no, they don't. They jump and splash, don't they? I forgot what they were doing. It is up and down, but they jump and splash, jump and splash, jump and splash. The dolphins in the sea go jump and splash all day long. The clams in the sea go open and shut, open and shut, open and shut. The clams in the sea go open and shut all day long. I know they're really, really busy, aren't they? I am amazed how busy they are. If you are interested in sharks, there are some really good books here about sharks in the library and also on the North Carolina Kids Digital Library. Don't forget, your card allows you digital content that you can check out. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to call us. We have books like Sharks Have Six Senses and Eyewitness Sharks. So these are nonfiction titles that you can find in our children's nonfiction section. We are doing curbside service right now, so if you're interested in shark books, ask us about those. One of my favorite books to read when I can do story time in person anyway is this one right here, Shark in the Park. It is by Nick Sharratt, and it is about Timothy Pope. Timothy Pope has a brand new telescope, and so he's looking all around at all kinds of cool things, and he thinks he sees a shark. But there's a few false alarms. So we get to see some neat things that look like that are not sharks. And also, if you've got some slightly older kids, this is a really good one, Sharknato. Yes, that is the title. It is about Nate. Nate loves sharks. He is all about sharks. The only thing is, though, Nate can't swim. So he decides he is going to learn to swim, and the author, I thought, did a really great job. Authors, it's Tara Luebbe, I believe is her last name, and Becky Cattie. Miss Tara, if I said your name wrong, I'm sorry. But it's a really great story about how this teacher and the older brother used Nate's love of sharks to help convince him to learn how to swim, which I thought was a very neat concept. Anytime you're talking about trying to get somebody involved in something, for example, we use it a lot here when we're trying to find books for your children to read, even you adults as well. Rather than ask about a reading level or an assigned reading, a lot of times our first question is, what do you like? Not really what do you like to read, but just what do you like? Are you into sharks? Do you like horses? Are you into cooking? Do you like travel? Things like that. If we know what you like in your ordinary everyday life, a lot of times it's usually a really good way to find you something to read that you'll be interested in. So, and that is one of our fun parts of the job. We get to get great books for people. So, but you know what? I think after all that work of chomping and all that, I feel like our sharks should probably go taking a bath. You didn't know sharks took a bath, did you? All right, so we're going to do another one of our bathtub songs. The bathtub songs, you know, we clap, knock, splash, pat your knees. So we'll put one little shark in our bathtub, right? One little shark in the bathtub, going for a swim. Knock, knock, splash, splash, come on in. So now we have two. 2 little sharks in the bathtub going for a swim. Knock, knock, splash, splash, come on in. Add another shark. How many's that? 1, 2, 3. 3 little sharks in the bathtub going for a swim. Knock, knock, splash, splash, come on in. Ah, now how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little sharks in the bathtub going for a swim. Knock, knock, splash, splash, come on in. Oh, gosh, they barely fit in that bathtub, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sharks. 5 little sharks in the bathtub going for a swim. Knock, knock, splash, splash. They all fall in. I had to kind of do it that way. Evidently, when you do these bathtub songs, you're supposed to knock your board over. The only thing is I don't want my board to go backwards, and I actually have feet on my board so that it won't fall backwards. So I knocked it down that way. All right, speaking of swimming, I think we should have some fish swimming in the sea again. You'll recognize these fish. These fish were previously swimming around in a bowl. Ah, you remember the fish bowl, right? They were just goldfish before we bought them from a store. Oh, here, let's put you way up here. All right, now they're free-range fish. They're swimming in the sea. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Do you remember what color fish we have? That's right, we've got a green fish, orange fish, yellow, pink, and blue. I just love them. They're so cute. But these fish are not very nice. They're about to tease Mr. Shark, which is probably not a good idea, but that's how the song goes. Are we ready? 5 little fishies swimming in the sea, teasing Mr. Shark. You can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Shark, quiet as can be, and snaps that fish right out of the sea. That's right, you gotta snap. Now how many fish do you see? That's right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little fishies swimming in the sea, teasing Mr. Shark. You can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Shark, quiet as can be, and snaps that fish right out of the sea. 1, 2, 3 fish left. 3 little fish swimming in the sea, teasing Mr. Shark. You can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Shark, quiet as can be, and snaps that fish right out of the sea. Oh, sure did. Dropped him right on the floor. 2 little fish swimming in the sea, teasing Mr. Shark. You can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Shark, quiet as can be, and snaps that fish right out of the sea. Oh, look, we've only got 1 fish left, right? 1 little fish swimming in the sea, teasing Mr. Shark. You can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Shark, hungry as can be, and snaps that fish right out of the sea. And now there's no more fish, are there? You know, was it really very nice of them to be teasing Mr. Shark? Those were the fish, weren't they? No, it wasn't. Do you think the fishies should have teased Mr. Shark? I don't think so. What do you think would have happened if they had told Mr. Shark they wanted to be friends? Do you think he still would have snapped him out of the sea? I think it might have ended differently, don't you? Maybe we'll do another one at some point where they don't tease him. What do you think? All right. I hope you have enjoyed Storytime this week. We love sharks. Sharks are really cool. Speaking of the North Carolina Kids Digital Library, if you're interested in checking items out from that, there's not only books, there's audiobooks, and there's even videos. So you can sometimes find little instructional videos. Also, don't forget, when you link over from our website, you have things like Tumble Books. Tumble Books has a lot of 1 to 2 minute videos on certain subjects that are age appropriate for children. So you might want to check those out too. If you have any questions, always call us here at the library. We're more than happy to help. I hope you really enjoyed the Shark Week. We will be back next week with more letter fun. Bye-bye.